Alright, what's up everyone, my name is Nate Reacts and welcome back. As you guys can tell by the thumbnail title, today we are going to be doing the official AJR album tier list, where today we are going to be ranking every single AJR album. Now, for the people who don't know, recently I did a marathon where I reacted to every single AJR album. You know, after listening to all the albums, I do think that I can have a valid ranking for each one of these albums since they are all fresh in my mind. But yeah, other than that, before I start the video, first I want to thank you guys so much for all supporting my channel. Also, remember to check my analytics, and only very few percent of my viewers are actually subscribed. So if you're new to the channel, like we see, please subscribe and it's to help our channel out. We're actually around 3,000 subscribers. Other than that, enough talking, let's get right into this video. Now, this marathon was actually kind of interesting because, you know, it's probably my least well doing marathon, and by that I'm saying that like I literally got barely any views for this marathon. I'm not even joking. Like, normally when I do these album review marathons, I get a few thousand views for each video, but this album marathon I couldn't even break 100 views for any of the videos except like the first video, which sucks, but what are you gonna do? It wasn't too great of an experience, I will say, reacting to these albums, but we're gonna, you know, we're gonna try our best. I'm gonna be as positive I can be, but also I will not be including the deluxe version of the click because I didn't react to it, because I just wanted to react to the base albums. So right off the bat, we got the debut album, which is The Living Room. Now, The Living Room I think is a phenomenal album, and I think it deserves higher than an S tier. I think that's the perfect placement for it, above S tier. I think the album was absolutely horrible, quite possibly top 5 if not top 3 worst albums I have ever reacted to on this channel. I think the production on this album was absolutely horrible. There's no good song on this album. Like, this album has so many bad songs on it, with Thirsty. I think there was what was I don't even remember any of the other ones. I think Thirsty was the only one that kind of was ingrained in my head because of how scarring it was. Yeah, this album just needs to be deleted from the face of the internet. Like, it just needs to be deleted because I don't think anyone deserves to go through the hell that is that album. Next up we got The Click. Now, The Click is definitely better than The Living Room, which honestly isn't hard to do. Honestly, I think production is definitely better than their debut album. I think lyrically it's definitely better. I think everything about it is better than their debut album. That doesn't change the fact that it's still a pile of garbage. I think almost every single song on this album is forgettable except the song Turning Out. It does still have some cringy lyrics in that song, but I do think emotionally, I think it's a good track. I think emotionally it does feel like there's something there, and you know, vocally, instrumentally, it's a solid track too. And then the song Sober Up, which is also genuinely a good song, but other than that, I think there's nothing that can actually save this album, which is why it's an F tier song, or an F tier album. Next up, we got Neo Theater, which is also a step up from The Click, having a few more good songs on there, but also ultimately failing and being a pile of utter horse crap. Pretty much every single song on there is forgettable except maybe 2 songs, which is Turning Out Part 2, and I think one was called Dear Winter. I think that was it. I do like the fact that there wasn't an overture on this album, because, fun fact, I absolutely hated overtures, and I think the overtures are the most stupidest things they could have done in their albums. So I'm happy that they decided not to go with an overture with this album and had the title track, what was it called? I don't remember what it was called, but it was an okay title track. But for that, I'm gonna be putting it at a D. It's still a horrible album, and I would never come back to any of the songs on it, but it's not a atrocious album like The Living Room. And finally, we come to their final album, which is OK Orchestra. Is critically their best album. I think people always talk about it being their best album, which again isn't hard to do, but sadly to me personally, I do think it's honestly lower than Neo Theater. I think I actually enjoyed more songs on Neo Theater than I did on this album. Actually, this album had more DFs than any of the albums other than their debut album, The Living Room. Arguably, I would put this at F, because other than the production value going up again, which I feel like it just goes up with every album, which is a good sign. I'm not saying it's a bad sign. I think lyrically it's a horrible album. I think vocally it is horrendous, with high-pitched vocals, again, very unnecessary vocal chops like the other albums, lackluster instrumentals. Like, everything about this album is absolutely horrible, and again, there's not one song down here that is memorable. I don't think that I gave any song on here a W, other than, oh no, I think I gave one song a W, but other than that, every other song was like a mid to an the but yeah, that's my ranking. Yeah, that's how bad this album marathon was. I just want to get this done with, so I'd never have to talk about AJR again until their next album or single comes out. Yeah, let me know what you guys think of this list. I just want to be done this. So if you're new to the channel, because subscribing, it's going to help the channel a lot. I highly recommend you guys go watch my other marathons, the ones that I actually enjoyed making and had fun making, specifically the 21 Pilots, Linkin Park, and Coldplay. The Coldplay, specifically Coldplay was a phenomenal one. I'm so happy I got to do that one. I recommend go watching those, because those were actually entertaining, while this one was kind of just, you know, hell for me to do, and it just kind of tarnished my will to live. Yeah, other than that, let me know what else you want me to react to. Subscribe to the new channel, turn on post notifications about stuff I should upload. Go check out my AJR, my album, the early rings and reviews on albums, EPs, songs to react to. But yeah, other than that, hope you guys have an amazing day, night, evening, wherever you are. I'll see you next time. Peace.